pick up, and then we'll go.
We'll never surrender.
Skin boots on a Saturday night.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Zombies storyline video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Dr. Monty being the devil and controlling Purgatory, aka Mob of the Dead, and perpetuating the overall cycle that we see that starts and ends with Revelations. We do hear the quote from the Shadow Man which describes Dr. Monty as being the devil.
Satan? The devil? Do you not see you are being deceived?
And we also hear that Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man were once one, aka they were once both keepers, and the Shadow Man became corrupt and became the leader of the Apothecans. But what happened to Dr. Monty? Did he himself take a dark turn as well, and the Shadow Man could possibly simply be the lesser of the two evils? And within Black Ops 4 Zombies, could Dr. Monty be the antagonist as opposed to the Shadow Man, which was the antagonist with Black Ops 3 Zombies storyline? Well, only time will tell, but this video goes over a ton of information regarding Dr. Monty and talks about him being an evil figure. This is a video I uploaded a while back on my channel and I thought I would reshare it to you guys because I'm going to be posting some of my old videos leading up to the launch of Black Ops 4 Zombies, videos to sort of recap you on the storyline aspects, stuff that you've kind of forgotten about and you might need recapping on. So without further ado, let's jump straight on into it. If you do go on to enjoy this video by the end of it, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and go for 1,115 likes on today's video as well. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future upload here on the channel. Don't forget to turn notifications on to ensure furthermore that you never miss an upload. But with that all out of the way, let's get straight on into the video. So obviously this whole idea ties into the eye color. Now today we're specifically only going to touch upon the red eyes because at the moment the yellow eyes are something which doesn't make a lot of sense because it doesn't correlate with a lot of things. There are tons of inconsistencies with the eye color, but I think the red eyes are the most easily to understand in terms of the eye color because there's not many inconsistencies with the eye color, unlike with the yellow eyes, which initially was just when Samantha was in control, but now we've seen it on Shadows of Evil or the Black Ops 3 Zombies maps. We've seen it in other places where she's not in control, she's not even in the MPD. And in terms of blue eyes, we've seen that show up as well on Gorod Krovi and Origins and stuff like that. But with the red eyes, we've only ever seen the red eyes on Mob of the Dead, Gorod Krovi, as well as Revelations. Now Dr. Monty stepped in on Gorod Krovi and that's where we first heard him. That's where he was first introduced to our characters, and interestingly enough the eyes suddenly turned red. Then on Revelations the eyes were red as well, and again that's essentially Dr. Monty's perfect world. Well, it was destroyed by the Shadow Man, but that's where he reigns control once again. So it would make sense that the eyes are red within Mob of the Dead because Dr. Monty is the one who perpetuated this realm. Now from the timeline it says the following: on January the 13th, 1933, Stanley Ferguson begins working at Alcatraz Island. On April the 1st, 1933, Al convinces Sal, Finn and Billy that they can build a plane and escape Alcatraz. On December the 2nd, 1933, realizing the plane will never be completed and embittered with rage, Sal, Finn and Billy plot to get revenge on Al. On December the 31st, 1933, Finn, Sal and Billy lure Al to the roof and kill him. On January the 11th, 1934, stepping through a rift, Richtofen secures the blood samples of Sal and Finn. Then on January the 19th, 1934, found guilty of Al's murder, Sal, Finn and Billy are executed by electric chair. Then this is where the Mob of the Dead storyline comes in. This is what we actually play. Sal, Finn, Billy and Al battle waves of the undead as they find themselves trapped in a seemingly endless cycle. Now it would only make sense that this cycle was created by Dr. Monty, and what it could have been is this could have simply been a test area. This could have been him testing this cycle in an enclosed environment that he wanted to expand on with the overarching cycle that ends and starts with Revelations. This is him testing it and he may have been trying to see if it works. Now it's pretty obvious that Mob of the Dead is in some sort of purgatory realm because all of our characters die. Finn, Sal and Billy kill Al and then they are electrocuted by electric chair. And because they are all criminals and they've done bad things in their lives, that is why they are stuck within this purgatory realm. And we hear from this quote within Revelations, which I'll let you guys listen to right now.
Do you not see the power Dr. Monty holds over you? Do you not realize? To deny me is to invite doom. Or have you forgotten that? Of course you have. It's all Monty's fault. You know you died a long time ago, don't you? You saw it. He's not even a real doctor. I would know. You do realize why you are unhappy, don't you? It's all Monty's fault. You had purpose, but then he took it all away. Dr. Monty, you have followed a path marked by lies and deceit. Many others have failed. Why would you be any different? Are you so foolish and ignorant to believe that you are on the right side of destiny? This has always only ended one way. I have foreseen it. It is time to finish this. You do realize that he's manipulated you? That's what he does. Dr. Monty is just one of the many names he's been known by. The Great Dragon, the Beast. Is this ringing any bells? Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan, the devil. Do you not see you are being deceived? Be warned, my patience with you will only last so long.
The Shadow Man essentially says that Dr. Monty is the devil. Now, the Shadow Man has been known to manipulate us and lie to us. However, he always tells half-truths.
You do know that Richthofen is a friend of mine. I say friend, but really he's so much more than that. At one point, I almost considered him my apprentice.
Everything he says to us is partially true. It's just that we can't really trust him most of the time because of how many lies and how much he manipulates us, just like he manipulated the Shadows of Evil characters within Shadows of Evil to carry out bad deeds, and then he obviously helped them to unleash the Apothecary Overlord so that they gained access to Dimension 63.
I have been watching. I have seen each and every one of your misdeeds. I know who you are. But questions remain. Why do you do the things you do? What is it that you hope to achieve? Do you not see the futility of your tiny, insignificant existence? You are but fragments of a bigger universe. Your sins serve only as an invitation to an evil beyond your imagination. I will lead the way. I will show you the path. Only through me, the Shadow Man.
Now, if we can trust the Shadow Man in this instance here, then Dr. Monty could very well be some sort of devil. You see, Dr. Monty is perceived as a god. He is the one who has created this perfect world, which is the reason why he wants the cycle to continue on Revelations. It's the reason why he sends our characters back, and he wants the cycle to perpetuate, because he wants to keep this perfect world safe. But with this perfect world is not what it seems. Now, as I said, we don't know Dr. Monty's true agenda at this current point in time. We don't know what his evil plan is, but I'm convinced he has some sort of evil plan. We just don't know his true agenda and his true purpose at the moment. We don't know really why he wants this cycle to continue. We don't even know what this perfect world is. There may be something darker to this perfect world that we don't know. The children are stuck within the house, and within the music trailer that we got released for Revelations, Samantha almost seems like she was locked in the house. It was weird. She was looking outside. It almost seemed like she was scared. Now, we also have this other quote on Revelations, which I'll let you guys listen to now.
Remember what I said before about energy? Now here's the thing. I knew a bloke, and I'm talking way, way, way back. He was the sweetest, most charming individual you could ever wish to meet. He was funny too. We used to have such a good old laugh together. Honestly, my sides hurt thinking about it. He was my friend. He was my best friend. And then the Apothecons got hold of him. Since then, he's pretty much acted as their agent, zipping around the galaxy. Wait, I keep changing it, don't I? Which do you prefer, universe, multiverse, omni-fucking-verse? Oh, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? Yeah, let's get on with it. Short version is, he's no longer sweet, charming, or funny. Since then, he's pretty much acted as their agent, zipping around the galaxy. Wait, I keep changing it, don't I? So which do you prefer? Universe, multiverse, omniverse? Doesn't really matter, does it really? Short version is, he's no longer sweet, charming, or funny. He's what brought them here, when he escaped the key.
And within this quote, we essentially learn that Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man were once the same being. Essentially, they were both keepers at one point. However, the Shadow Man became corrupted by the dark ether, and he went on to become the leader of the Apothecans. As for Dr. Monty, we don't know if he is still a keeper or not. I mean, he could still be a keeper. He may have been corrupted himself and turned into an Apothecan as well. Or maybe he's turned into some other entity. Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man are essentially mirrors of each other. We just don't know who is the most evil out of the two. In the timeline, it says there was only the Ether and the Keepers. Among them were two beings who would later be known by many names. One would be known as Dr. Monty, the other as the Shadow Man. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because it repeats the Shadow Man's words. It says they will be known by many names, and I'll let you guys listen to this quote again.
Dr. Monty is just one of the many names he's been known by. The Great Dragon, the Beast. Is this ringing any bells? Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan, the devil? Do you not see you're being deceived?
So it's sort of hinting that the Shadow Man could be telling the truth. Maybe they were both keepers. The Shadow Man went off to become the leader of the Apothecans, but Dr. Monty went off to become a much worse evil entity, and he could be some sort of devil-like figure, as he said. Now, as he was saying, if Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man were both keepers and then they split off into two entities, which they once were one entity from the looks of things, they both carry very similar traits. They're both very manipulative. For example, on Garod Krovi, Dr. Monty tells us that we shouldn't trust Richtofen, and he tells us that he's probably going to betray us. But then on Revelations, he never betrayed us, and in fact, he was doing the right thing all this time, and we should have been trusting him. So again, Dr. Monty was trying to manipulate our characters just like the Shadow Man. They're both very similar. We look at the Shadow Man. He is the one that took Morgue City and shifted it from reality. Now, Morgue City is obviously within Shadows of Evil. However, the Shadow Man tricked our characters into doing bad things. They would have never done the bad things they did if it wasn't for the Shadow Man. He tricked them essentially. They did the bad things, which enabled the Shadow Man to shift Morgue City from reality. It was essentially a separate pocket in time, although it was still within Dimension 63, and then the Shadow Man tricked our characters to help him and unleash the Apothecan Overlords. And likewise on Mob of the Dead, we have a set of characters that have done bad deeds, that have been taken in a separate pocket from reality, which seems to be some sort of purgatory realm after death, just like on Shadows of Evil. They've both essentially done the same thing. Both evils have done the same thing, because they once were one. We also have this cipher on Revelations, and this cipher says, "I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough, cough, death is near. I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would have been in a world of shit. Maybe now with us all gone, the children will be truly safe." And then it's marked D, which is presumably Dempsey. Now, isn't this peculiar? Dempsey doesn't seem to be trusting Dr. Monty. This is a storyline that we've still not seen. It's most likely within the next Treyarch game. We don't know what this storyline is in reference to. There's no point in me talking about it because we don't know what it's referencing to yet. But all it's saying is that we shouldn't trust Monty. So I think that Monty has created, as he said, Mob of the Dead to test out this cycle. Now, I don't know what Monty's end goal is, as he said, but it's some sort of evil end goal that we don't know what it is as of yet. We'll probably find out in the next Treyarch game. I don't know if in the next game we're going to have to help the Shadow Man this time to defeat the Dr. Monty, like helping the lesser of two evils or something. I don't know, but I think we're definitely going to be going up against Monty in the next game, but I don't know what that will be. But I don't know what Dr. Monty's going to do to us exactly. Now, as he said earlier, I made a video a while back talking about when we break the cycle within Mob of the Dead, which is obviously when the Weasel kills the other three characters, as opposed to the three characters killing the Weasel, which would continue the cycle. If you break the cycle, it's not referenced at all within the zombies timeline. Only the cycle continuing is referenced. So I think that when we break the cycle on Mob of the Dead, it's something that we haven't seen the outcome to. We don't know what happens after we break it, and we don't know if it may stop, for example, our characters getting the victor's blood samples or something like that. It could break the overarching cycle. Dr. Monty clearly doesn't know that the cycle is able to be broken from the looks of things. That was the whole point of him testing with Mob of the Dead, but maybe he just didn't realize because he wasn't paying attention. We know that he's not always constantly watching, as he never knew that the Shadow Man was within the summoning key.
Anyway, the key thing, as in The thing that is key is that Max's fiddled around with the summoning thingamajig and accidentally released an even bigger bastard. Someone even I didn't know was in there. The Shadow Man.
So I was thinking that possibly when you break the cycle, it may break the overarching cycle, and it may stop our characters from getting the Victor's blood samples, and that could be the alternative timeline where we see the Richtofen endgame being canon within Black Ops 2 as opposed to the Maxis endgame, because from the timeline we see that the Maxis endgame is canon, and we know that the timeline only shows from the perspective of the person that's reading it, and we're seeing this from the perspective of Richtofen. So maybe there's another perspective that we haven't seen where the cycle does break, and we see the other perspective of the cycle breaking on Mob of the Dead, and we see the perspective of the Richtofen endgame being canon instead. I'm not really sure. Now we also have on the Blundergat within Mob of the Dead a similar statue to the lion that on the Gobblegun machine. Again, I don't know if this is another hint that Monty may be in control of this realm. I'm not really sure, but I think it's pretty obvious that he's the controller of this realm. I don't know what his true purpose is at the moment. Only time will tell. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not for the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.